Hello, Gemini. This is going to be your cleanse, detox, or purge reading. The purpose of this is to help you pinpoint something that you can work on to help you move into this next cycle with your best foot forward. All right. So I'm going to be using the Waite Tarot along with several other oracle decks to help you get some insight. So let's take a look. As always, if I have a song or other inspiration that pops up, I will put it in the link below under sounds like. So let's see. Ooh, you have a lot of stuff popping out. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, well, let's get one card. Okay, you have a lot more. So there's a lot of stuff that wants to spill. Spilling the beans, okay? I just heard spilling the beans. Okay. All right, I've got Three of Cups in reverse. I've got the Queen of Swords. Under the deck, we've got the Page of Wands. Okay. So, this could be what you need to do is you need to use some discernment about taking in the kind of news that you hear. With this Page of Wands in reverse, this to me can be the bad news card. All right. And with the Three of Cups in reverse, this can be the gossip card. All right. So you might be needing to exercise some judgment and discernment when people come to you with some type of bad news. Being careful to not repeat it, being careful to not spread this information, especially if you have not had the opportunity to fact check it, because it becomes gossip. And if it gets back that you're the one that's saying it, then you become tied up in drama, which, we know can lead to a lot of toxicity, a lot of he said, she said, and just general low vibing energies that you just don't really want to be taking around you in this new cycle. I personally feel like that's just going to be something that's really important because there's so much power in your words and the things that you say. And so it's not just what you say about yourself, but what you say about others. When you put stuff out, even if it's like innocent and you're just repeating something you think that you might be true, and that impacts the hearts and minds of other people, and it influences how they treat other people, it creates a ripple effect of energy that I don't think that you want to have attracting to yourself, in this energy that we're all in. Like, that's not, there's enough going on without attracting more. All right, under the deck, I've got the Six of Wands in reverse, and then the Five of Wands. Okay, and then the Three of Swords and the Tower in reverse. Yeah. So, this could be about not being able to recognize combative energies that are trying to cause some type of disappointment. All right. Because sometimes if people come bringing bad news and stuff, I'm hearing no news is good news for some reason. But if you're just getting a bunch of bad news all the time, it's important to ask yourself, what is the intention of the person that's coming and bringing me this? Because with this Five of Wands, it's just a bunch of people with wands. Maybe everybody's fighting to prove their own point, or they have their own agendas. But if it leads to this extreme disappointment, and I feel like it's on your part, okay, you can avoid the tower of those kind of situations and the tower is like when you have thoughts and belief structures come crumbling down because you have like a shaking event that kind of knocks you out of your tower, by exercising temperance and being able to balance that out emotionally. All right. By not taking at face value what people are saying and spreading it. So let's look at the mystical wisdom. See if we can get more information about this. Okay. Letting go, learning to let go. Let's see what else I've got here. Okay, the 7 deadly sins. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, facing your fears. Okay. So yeah, I feel like this is just basically saying that if something happened and somebody feels like you need to know that somebody did you wrong or that somebody did something, it would serve you best to like kind of let it slide off your back a little bit and just let it go and move on. Because I feel like you might be getting incited to wrath. Like you might have people egging you on and trying to say, oh, well, did you hear this and this and this? And this is going on and that's going on. And it's to try to get a reaction on your part. And, all it is doing is causing like a show for other people to kind of watch you freak out. Okay. Um, and react to the information and thoughts that they're giving you. And I feel like these people are feeding off of fear, and they're feeding off of anxiety, and they're feeding off of the chaos and the problems. It could be individuals that are not happy in their own lives. And that's what I feel like you're being asked to do with this Queen of Swords, is to really exercise some judgment in what it is that you allow to come through your own mind and to take in and to then spread around yourself, because it's bringing you down. Okay. Let's look at the abundance and see what we can do to raise this energy. All right, because it's just it feels messy, not so much like on your part, but it's like surrounding you. And you have like an opportunity to not participate. So I have abundance mindset, all right? So this is important, is to think, to see yourself as having all the things that you need, not in a state of lack, not in a state of, I'm picking up maybe even envy or covetousness of what others have. Because what could be happening is somebody could be talking about what somebody has versus what somebody else has. And that could be the issue. And when you have this kind of mindset that there's lack, and, maybe this person has and this one doesn't, and why does this, so on and so forth, it just puts you in a mindset to take you out of any kind of abundance that you could possibly have, because it's got you manifesting lack, because you're speaking that out. When you speak of others, what they have negatively, then you're coming out of the energy of you don't have enough. And you're actually making that even more true for yourself, even if it's not. All right. I have take a divinely guided chance. And under the deck, have courage to ask for and accept help. All right. So this could also be like, if you are in a situation, like maybe somebody is coming and bringing you information about what somebody has or, doesn't, it's okay, I think, to ask that person, to first of all, maybe curb some of that or remove yourself from the situation without being awkward, because it could be awkward, especially if somebody's all riled up and then you just kind of remove yourself. It could be an awkward situation, but kind of see, like, use your judgment to determine if this person is actually trying to help, but they're coming at you in a very like negative way. Maybe what they're really wanting to do in their mind is help you, but the way that they're presenting it comes across in this very Three of Cups in reverse, like gossipy energy. And so one way you can transmute this energy is to kind of twist it around and ask them, or say, thank you for bringing me this information. Is there a way that you could help me with this? Or do you have any solutions for what could be done? And then that could be a huge sign to you about whether or not the intentions of that person is to help you or to kind of get you riled up, so that you react in such a way that benefits them in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's for entertainment purposes, whether it's to make them feel better about somebody else being stressed out, or if it's just to see somebody mess themselves up, shoot themselves in their own foot, okay, by lowering themselves to that level and then take actions to kind of mess themselves up. So, I mean, that's a serious thing. And I feel like that's what's around you. So you could also say that in addition to removing yourself from, situations where people are gossiping and spreading falsehoods or whatever, you could detox your friendships. So you're not even around people like this in the first place who are going to be operating at this level. All right. So let's get a mystic wisdom. Or actually a wisdom oracle. I take that back. What did I get? The yang energy in reverse. Okay, so this is like taking action, but kind of being misguided, just going for something without really thinking it through. All right, so yeah, this could be, like I said, somebody giving you some bad news because they want to see you take action. And this is also a good, sign with this let it go and the seven deadly sins. If you're known for having like a temper, or you're known for just kind of rushing off and doing things, to maybe take some time um, to kind of work on that, so that first of all it doesn't become a personality trait that people are playing off of, and two, it allows you to take some time to like slow down and process and have better control over your own life, as opposed to being kind of manipulated and puppeted by people who like to get people to react. All right, like I said, these are people who feed off of that kind of energy. So I've got by the book and TikTok. Okay, so yeah, I feel like, time is of the essence in some situations. So if somebody comes and they're rushing to you, like, hey, 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 this is going on, and oh my goodness, you better do this now, you better whatever, whatever. Instead of rushing and reacting because someone is telling you to do so, take some time to really process it, get yourself in order, get your ducks in a row. With this by the book, with this, and it's 11 energy, so that's kind of mirroring energy. I feel like this is a chance for you to make sure that the way that you're reacting is not a mirror of the energy that's being brought to you by people who want you to react in a hyped up negative way. All right. It's important to, you know, just not do that. Maybe you can get a book on helping you to remain calm in those kind of situations, or just write down in a journal. And then when these kind of situations happen, tell yourself, if that ever happens, I'm going to take a time out and go look at what I wrote down, or have whatever I need to give me that time out or an excuse, so I can process how I want to react in an ordered fashion. That way I'm not rushed into making a decision or saying something, which I believe is going to then be taken by these same individuals that are bringing you information, and, kind of steamrolled into even more drama, okay, and issues that don't have to be. All right, let's get a rebel card. Or two, or three. All right, new birth, guarded vigilantly. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a chance for you to do something different. And when you do, it's important to kind of protect that from individuals who may not be meaning to cause harm, but they kind of can't help that. All right. Um, I feel like this could also be you coming into this new cycle, because that's what we're talking about. And you're changing a little bit. Like, you're changing how you're doing stuff. You're kind of coming to life. Um, you're feeling more inspired to like be different, and people can see the difference. Like, maybe I'm looking at this woman and she's looking up with bees, and I think of like hive mind. Maybe because these individuals are quick to react and cause a lot of stuff, and they're noticing that you're not doing that anymore, it's kind of triggering them to come in and poke and prod, poke the bear, and see if they can get this kind of reaction, just to make sure that you're not, you know, disconnecting from this matrix of being, And so I feel like it's important that you possibly detox these friendships. It doesn't have to be forever, but just while you're going into this new cycle, so that you can give yourself a chance to take root and get kind of solid in this new way of expressing yourself and being, so that you don't have to worry about the triggers that right now I feel like you're kind of fragile as far as, operating like this. So you could be easily triggered into doing this and kind of throwing yourself off. Right. With Peace Oracle, I have ingenuity, fertility, and forgiveness. Okay. So, I feel like you are maybe also coming into some creativity, like you're doing some new things that are kind of outside of the box from what you usually do. I feel like it could just be creating this self, like you're creating this new you, and because you're doing this, it's starting to increase your abundance flow. Whereas before, you were kind of cutting yourself off with this Queen of Swords, I can see it like, she's cutting herself off at the foot, like we said, shooting ourselves in the foot earlier, but it can also be like cutting yourself off the foot or cutting off your own hand with your own tongue. And because you're not doing that as much, it's allowing you to become more abundant and bring in good things. Like you're speaking life over yourself instead of death over the things that you touch and do. And, um, I feel like there might be a need to exercise some forgiveness so that, or be more forgiving of yourself and maybe of others, so that, when people come to you and they want to get you to react really quickly, if you've been practicing forgiveness, um, like genuine forgiveness, not like in a passive aggressive way, you'll be less likely to react, and people will be less likely to find little things that, people can try to get you triggered to say that someone is trying to spite you or cause you a wrong and you've got to go do this and you've got to go do that, because I feel like that's the kind of energy that's been holding you back. Okay. So yeah, so I feel like if those things can be addressed, that could be very helpful for you moving into this cycle, Gemini. All right, that's what I have for you. Thank you for joining me on this channel where we might be days, but we are not confused. I will see you next time on the next video. Bye bye.